So, okay, have you read the Ray Bradbury story before committing to the show?
I listened to a radio play from I think like 54 or 55, and that drew me in even more so. So I was that was my first kind of foray into what this was, and I was kind of reading the pilot script alongside listening to that. And, if I wasn't convinced before, like listening to, because there's a very, I mean, there wasn't at the time, but that style of acting now, when you listen to it back, it can be quite creepy, and a little bit weird. Do you know what I mean? And it was interesting listening to it being all grainy and stuff. So that was my first, experience.
What about you?
No, I didn't really even know, I don't think, that it was based on a Bradbury story until you told me on set. So I sort of came into it just from the script. I think also because the name was different, right?
Yes.
It's The Visitors.
Yeah.
The story is called The Visitors, and when I came on board a little bit later than everyone, and it was called The Whispers already. So I didn't really go looking for anything, but it's cool to work on something that has history and has roots. And
there's an interesting comic book.
Is there?
Yeah, comic book drawings of it as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's a book called The Illustrated Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are stories, sci-fi stories that dwell on the dark of the human heart, basically.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't end well.
Exactly.
It's not the same as that.
So this is interesting because the children traditionally in fiction are like vessels for evil things.
Right.
So what do you think is that?
I think, and Kristen touched on this earlier, it's very timely because I think children are using this because there's something that terrifies us as human beings is the loss of innocence. And I think that's something that we're against now, the internet, I think. It's the most wonderful thing in the world, but it's tough to please, and your kids are kind of in there and doors opening here and here and here, and you start here and you're over there, and I think that's why children are used, because the idea of something so beautiful and perfect and honest and innocent and light having something whisper in its ear and tell it to change its way of thinking, I think that terrifies the living daylights out of me.
And I think right now it's sort of, people feel vulnerable in a way, like they're, that things can get at their kids, and in a different way than has been historically, and so in a way I think this is a timely show and a timely issue, but I think it certainly taps into a kind of fear that people have, and there's something just deeply unsettling about seeing children do these terrible things. So I hope it makes people uneasy and freaks them out a little bit.
Do you know the whole background of the show in terms where the secrets and the conspiracy, or what was the actual problem?
we've filmed all 13 episodes of the first season, so we know beginning to end of our tale now. People are in for a good ride. I'm excited for people to see it. I was saying before, it feels like we've been part of some really expensive hobby. Yeah. And now it's nice to pass on to other people to kind of say, well, this is for you, enjoy. Because we enjoyed ourselves, and our part was so easy. We've got such a wonderful cast on this. We were blessed, to have someone of Kristen's quality and Lily Rabe and Milo Ventimiglia, amongst others. I mean, everyone in our cast was so strong, but real actors and real people who love creating magic for people, and I feel we've done that.
The series is produced by Steven Spielberg, who has a lot of
he's not bad, is he?
Story in terms of children and magical forces. Do you see his hand in this show?
Yes. I think when people watch it, that they will see certainly similarities and parallels to his other work, and I think that his work was an inspiration for the show. It's not an accident that the two came together, and I think that was certainly a draw for all of us.
Yeah.
And
well, working for you work for Amblin, or you're working for Mr. Spielberg. There's going to be a stamp of quality on that. There's going to be an overriding sense of, even though this show might scare people, I think there's an innocence and there's a delight to it as well. The colours, the the music, everything that you would associate with a Spielberg piece is in this. And I think that's why we can take people on a little bit of a dark tale every now and again, because I think you'll feel safe inside it, and you'll feel the magic as much as you feel the terror at times. And I think it's important to feel both as a human being. You can't have one without the other, you know? It's like, you know, I remember Tarantino talking about a scene in Reservoir Dogs where, you know, you watch Michael Madsen kind of do his cheeky little dance. And it's like, well, you're in now because he's going to cut this guy's ear off. And you love this dance, so you got to watch him cut the guy's ear off now. You know, you can't, you know, hopefully that's something that we give them, you know.
Yeah.
You like this, you got to watch
Nobody gets their ear cut off on our show, though.
No, they don't. No.
Okay, guys.
Maybe they should have done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.